Hello, and welcome back. I want to talk to the person who feels constantly stuck between who they are and who they could be. You are a repository of knowledge. You've listened to the podcasts, you've read the classics, you know the principles of success, health, and wealth. You possess all the raw data for a phenomenal life. Yet, you look at your calendar, your bank account, or your physique, and you see the frustrating truth. You are a theoretical genius with zero practical application. This is the knowing-doing gap, the psychological chasm between understanding what to do and actually doing it. This gap is not a flaw in your character. It is a predictable failure of your system. And in the next few minutes, we're going to dissect the 3 psychological walls that maintain this gap and give you a proven 3-step blueprint to dismantle them. The first wall is built by your oldest instinct, survival. Your brain, the marvelous energy-saving machine, is designed to keep things predictable and conserve fuel. When you propose a massive change, I'm going to start a complex side business, or I'm going to run a marathon, the brain registers this as a high-energy threat. This triggers the psychological phenomenon known as resistance. It's not laziness, it's a defensive strategy. The task appears too large, too overwhelming. We hit the friction moment, the point of maximum required energy to initiate the task. Instead of expending that energy, your brain redirects you to low-friction, high-dopamine activities, scrolling, snacking, or planning more. Think of it this way: getting out of a comfortable bed on a cold morning. The physical action is tiny, but the perceived cost of breaking comfort is huge. That cost is the friction moment, and until you lower it, the gap remains wide. The second wall is built by a deceptive virtue, the desire for perfection. This is where most ambitious people stall. We tell ourselves, I can't start writing until I have the perfect outline, or I'll start my health journey next Monday when the diet plan is flawless. This waiting is procrastination wearing a sophisticated disguise. It's a mechanism to avoid the inevitable vulnerability of starting, the certainty of making mistakes. If you never start, you never fail. Perfectionism is merely fear of judgment, fear of incompetence. The reality check: successful people understand that perfection is the enemy of progress. They subscribe to the ship it philosophy. A launched, flawed product provides data. A perfect idea in your head provides nothing. You cannot steer a parked car. You must generate momentum first, and then refine your strategy. The expectation of perfection keeps the knowledge locked in your head, miles away from action. The third and perhaps most dangerous wall is the pervasive belief in the motivation trap. We fundamentally misunderstand the relationship between feeling and doing. We wake for inspiration to strike, believing that action is the result of motivation. Science proves the opposite. Motivation is the reward, the after effect of action. When you complete a task, your brain releases neurochemicals, dopamine and endorphins that signal pleasure and reward. This is how the brain reinforces habits. If you wait for the feeling of motivation, you grant your emotions veto power over your destiny. You must use discipline, a short, temporary burst of willpower to initiate the task, and the subsequent rush of accomplishment will generate the motivation to repeat it tomorrow. Motivation does not precede action, it chases it. We must now build the bridge across this gap. Strategy number 1 is to directly address the friction moment by using the micro-commitment method. The core principle: make the starting action so ridiculously small and easy that saying no feels harder than saying yes. Don't commit to a 60-minute coding session. Commit to writing 1 line of code. Don't commit to washing the mountain of dishes. Commit to washing 1 plate. The goal here is not to finish the task. The goal is to start the clock on the momentum. Once you have 1 plate clean, the environment looks slightly better. Your brain registers a tiny win, and the momentum naturally pulls you toward the 2nd plate. Case study: the writer Anthony Trollope wrote 47 novels. He credited his success to a single rule: write for exactly 3 hours every morning and stop the moment the 3 hours were up, even mid-sentence. His commitment wasn't to a word count or a masterpiece, it was to a trivial time commitment. The momentum did the rest. Strategy number 2 is to eliminate the need for willpower entirely by becoming an environment designer. Your environment must make the desired action the path of least resistance. If you want to read before bed, place your phone charger in the bathroom and the book on your pillow. The good habit is easy. The distraction, phone, now requires a tedious walk. If you want to stop snacking, don't rely on self-control when you're hungry at 10 p.m. Design your environment by keeping 0 junk food in the house. This principle is about making good habits invisible to resistance and making bad habits visible to effort. When you create friction for the habits you don't want, as in hiding the TV remote, and remove friction for the habits you do want, as in laying out your running gear, your actions follow the path of least effort, closing the gap naturally. The final and most profound strategy addresses the root cause, the person you believe yourself to be. This is the identity shift. Most people approach change from an outcome-based perspective. I want to get a promotion, or I want to lose 10 pounds. When they fail to act, they conclude, I'm lazy, or I'm a procrastinator. This reinforces the gap. Instead, shift to an identity-based habit. Ask yourself, what would a productive person do? A productive person doesn't wait for inspiration. They show up. A healthy person doesn't say they'll go to the gym. They are someone who doesn't miss 2 days in a row. The goal isn't to write a book. The goal is to become a writer. Every time you write that single micro-commitment sentence, you cast a vote for the person you want to become. You act the identity into existence, and the gap vanishes because you are simply doing what you do. You are not lacking in knowledge, you are lacking in action-based systems. The knowing-doing gap is a relic of old thinking.
Your knowledge is the fuel. Your micro-commitment is the spark. Your environment is the engine. Stop waiting for the day you feel like it. Stop waiting for perfection. Pick one micro-commitment right now. One push-up, 1 minute of reading, one sentence of an email. Do that one trivial, imperfect thing. Start the momentum. You already know what to do. The time to do it is now.